So Google is the first place that I've worked that has more than 30 employees. This is my first time in a corporation, and before I was doing nonprofit, union work, so this is a different environment. I feel that as far as corporate life goes, it's probably as good as it gets. There's plenty of perks and enough things to break up the day that I don't really feel like I'm working. No one really tells me what I'm doing, tells me what to do as long as my numbers are good. So I feel like those are all very good things. I feel like a lot of my coworkers are happy with where they are, but I think some of us want to be doing something where our opinions and we want to feel like our talents and skills are being put to use versus doing something that's very automated. We want to feel that what our work matters and our contribution matters versus like, okay, we need someone to put in this many hours and churn out results like everyone else. So I guess I want to feel like intellectually stimulated. Like I miss being in college where I was surrounded by people who were inspired and who were constantly thinking new things and challenging themselves and myself to think differently. So that's why I think like I might want to go back into academia, where that's the environment. So I think why would I stay at a company? I think the other thing is the past places I've worked have challenged me. Like there was a goal that I was proud of. I was working on a campaign where to elect certain people to work on certain policies that I believed in. Let's see. I was working on court cases that I cared about the results. I cared about the side I worked for. At Google, it's kind of a more neutral ground. It's like, yeah, I'm proud of the company I work for. I think they do good things. But I'm hiring engineers, and that seems like it's not very good and it's not very bad, and I want to feel like I'm working for something better than that.
How do you think the work environment could change in a large corporation to be more attractive to you all?
You've really hit on what I think it boils down to for me personally is you're in college and it's like, we're going to change the world, and then you get in the workforce and we are going to collate. So there's this very different sort of expectation that we go into the workforce, and we lack experience. There's no way that my resume next to someone who's been in the field for decades is going to measure up. But what we lack in experience, we have an enthusiasm. And I think we're just burning to contribute and really feel that what we're doing matters to the company. But it's hard to... I think the management has a broader perspective of where the company is going, what the broader view is. I mean, why is it that it's really important that I get this shipment out there? Well, if I knew that it was going to someone who's only going to be there a certain time and we need their opinion, and then I would feel valued for sending out something in FedEx. But if you don't get that context for your work, you don't feel that value. It's that concept of the shoemaker in a small town used to be able to watch his shoes walking around town, and then once you're part of a factory, you never see the shoes being enjoyed and used. And it's just, often you'll be in a meeting, and this actually came out of our small group, where if you're the new hire, they shoot down your idea, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, and then maybe you won't speak up again. But I worked for a company as an intern and had all these ideas that they shot down, and now I look back at the company and they're doing some of those ideas. So I think our perspective is valuable because we're not set in the paradigm of how everything's always been done.
I've very much experienced the same thing, coming up with ideas to really increase efficiency in the way things operate at Google. And by the way, if anybody knows anybody in Google, especially in staffing, let's keep this confidential. But I'm very much I'm one of 24 sourcers working on one team. My numbers look good. I'm doing very well, but I don't even get congratulations from any managers. I don't even really speak with the managers. Except for like a 6-month review. It's pretty much I go in there and put on my headphones, do work, talk to some engineers over the phone, enter my data, and to be honest, I have to work a very small part of the day to be successful in that environment. I want to be challenged. I want them to actually value my opinion and say, work on this. This could be improved. But it seems when a corporation gets too large, change is something that is really hard to enact. And it's very much information comes top down, is disseminated to us, rather than actually taking in any of our input. And they're hiring very talented people, very smart and creative people, and asking them to fill a role which very much could be, for the most part, automated by a very clever or robust program. Have some of our engineers devote their time to working on this, doing my sourcing techniques, sending out, customized emails, because when it comes down to it, that's, a large part of what I do. And I could explain to an engineer how to write a program to do most of my job. And that doesn't make me feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile. Very much that I am just an interchangeable person that could, if I need to leave, well, they'll fill in around me, and the results will keep being produced. I'd very much like to have a job where people did value my opinion rather than just my numbers.
Well, I just kind of wanted to go back to the base question of what would keep somebody at a company, like a large corporation. And I think my colleagues all have very valid points, but from my experience talking to my friends and looking around and talking to the people who are happiest with their jobs, I think it really boils down to the people you work with. Is huge. I have a stepsister that works for Eileen Fisher. She has for about 5 years now, and she just loves her job to death. I mean, she can't wait to wake up in the morning and go work. That's how much she loves it. And to her, the whole corporate culture surrounding, she's a girl and she loves clothes. That helps. But it really boils down to every single person that she comes in contact with, from her peers to Eileen Fisher herself, she thinks is just an amazing person. And they're really easy to get along with, and she has a lot of friends in the company. Another good example is my grandpa. He'll be 92 next month, the 15th. Still goes to work. He's a wholesale florist in the city. Wakes up at midnight and drives 40 minutes. Lifts, 5-gallon pails of water and gets stuck by thorns every day. And he still goes to work because that's where all his friends are. So with my generation, and I think across all people, I think it really boils down to how you get along with your coworkers, how you get along with your manager, and that sort of thing. My last job, it was a really neat company because it was small, but I could walk into anybody's office and talk to them about anything, sports, news. We do activities outside of work, and that really helped me learn the job a lot quicker than I would have, because I felt like I could go into anyone's office and ask them a question.